Let's talk about compensation. It used to be that more often than not, the compensation for a buyer's agent was paid for by the seller. Now, regulations have changed, and the responsibility to pay for compensation for a buyer's representation, the agent who represents and protects you, falls on you, the buyer. The buyer's agent can still negotiate with the seller's agent to get them to contribute to the compensation, whether it would be the entire amount or a portion. But now, with the new regulations that all agents must follow, at the end of the day, making sure that the buyer's agent gets paid is now the responsibility of the buyer. Legally, you have to sign an agreement before any buyer agent in the U.S. can work with you. The agreement will always say that the buyer is ultimately responsible to pay for the buyer's agent commission, not the seller. That said, the seller can still pay for commission. It just has to be negotiated off of the MLS. The new regulation does not say that the seller cannot pay for buyer representation fee. It's something that can be negotiated on your behalf. Some sellers will still choose to pay the buyer's agent compensation, and some won't. So you can choose to write an offer on a home where the seller pays for the fee for your buyer's agent, or you can choose to write an offer on a home that the seller's not willing to pay for it. And again, all commissions or compensation is always negotiable between all parties, and it always has been. There is no traditional, customary, or standard commission amount. The commissions are negotiable just as who will be paying for them is negotiable. The commissions can really seem like a big chunk, so is it really worth it? If you choose the right broker to represent you, it definitely is. Seller's agents are just that. They're there to represent the seller. You want someone who's working on your behalf. Most experts agree that buyers who try to represent themselves on their own often end up paying more for a home because they don't have the negotiation skills or market knowledge that an agent does. They might also miss out on finding the best home for themselves because they don't have access to the listings or the information that agent has. Not only that, but buyers who don't have a real estate expert on their court can end up with dozens of legal headaches and unexpected costs and end up in litigation. It's a very complex process. When buyers decide to represent themselves in real estate transactions without the expertise of a buyer's agent, they might think that they're saving money. But when you consider the overall financial investment and potential liability involved, is it really a false savings? Having representation makes a huge difference. For example, according to the National Association of Realtors, homes sold directly by owners, known as for sale by owners, or FSBOs, tend to sell for an average of $95,000 less than those who use an agent. So if having professional representation can make that much of a difference on a seller, think about how much it could benefit you, the buyer, even if you're the one having to pay for the agent commissions. And now you know what? Your agent doesn't get paid at all until you've successfully got into a home that you love. Here's what a great broker does for you. First, they guide you towards the right home. This means that they start by connecting you to a reputable mortgage loan officer so that you really understand what you can afford. You don't want to waste your time looking at Mercedes if a Kia is all you can truly qualify for, right? A great broker will also help you get a clear understanding of what you need, your priorities, and what you love to have in a home. The must-haves, so to speak, to the nice-to-haves. Next, before dragging you around with different home tours, they'll research each different neighborhood and find you the homes that are great matches. They'll guide you through detailed information on things like school scores, crime rates, traffic patterns, local amenities. Before you even step into the car, you'll know exactly what you're looking at and know that it fits your family and what you're looking for. Then, once you find the home you like, they'll research the current market and market trends to even further so that they can talk to the seller's agent about the seller priorities and the hot buttons. I almost said hot dogs, not hot dogs. At this point, they'll also ask the seller agents if the seller is willing to pay for the fees for your buyer's agent. All of this is to help you write an offer that will be attractive to the seller at the price you want and the price you can afford with the right terms to help you decide whether to make an offer at all. This is just the beginning. Your agent will present your offer and begin the negotiation process. A great agent will be a terrific collaborative negotiator with the experience and expertise to know how to compromise and create a deal for both you and the seller that will make both of you happy. Your buyer's agent will be available to negotiate things like rent backs, potential maintenance issues, repair requests, and closing costs, including the buyer's compensation. Your agent will negotiate the right price, the terms, make sure you're not paying more for the home than you should be. They will also negotiate credits and additional items on your behalf that the seller will pay for instead of you. The seller's agent wants to protect the seller and get them the most money and the best terms for the seller. As a buyer's agent, their job is to do the same for you. Their goal is to negotiate all of this and make sure that you're at the best possible price with the best possible terms. It's like a loving boxing match between the listing and the buyer's agent. Once your offer is accepted, your agent then manages all the people and processes to unearth any issues and finalize the deal. They order inspections like roof and pest inspections, plus any special inspections needed for the pool, well, or septic, point out any issues that arise from them, and they will also coordinate appraisals and discuss the results with you. They'll order and review the title report and point out any red flags. They'll keep you on top of the lender and help you provide whatever documentation is necessary. If the state or situation calls for it, they'll coordinate with an attorney. They'll review the seller's disclosures and point out any potential problems, then negotiate a resolution for those issues. They'll deal with the title and escrow companies. They'll connect you with home insurance companies and home warranty providers. They'll help you choose the best options for all of your situations. Your agent will manage all of these people in a process to keep your escrow on track, and they'll communicate regularly so you know exactly what's going on. Their job is also to make sure that you are protected from any legal liabilities and help you keep your initial earnest money deposit safe to ensure the home closes. Yes, your agent will spend literally hundreds of hours, much of it behind the scenes, working on your behalf. And it's only when they succeed and you have the keys to your dream home that you get paid. And it's only when they succeed and you have the keys to your dream home that they get paid. Again, per agreement, you as a buyer are contractually responsible for paying this fee, although your agent will negotiate and try to get the seller to pay for it. So this is, and so much more, what good buyer's agent will do for you and for your needs. If you got any additional questions, just reach out and know that I'm happy to elaborate some more. There's a lot that goes into it, guys. And this is Gloria Miller, your associate broker with People First Realty Group at Real Broker, where we put people over profit.